This is Smithy.tv.
Hi, I'm Kenny Robinson. You are checking out Breaking Down the News with Kenny, and today I have a special guest, Martha O'Neill, ladies and gentlemen. If you're not familiar with Martha, very talented comedian, and she is the founder and boss bitch in charge of the She Dot Comedy Festival. So I can't say
That should be on my. That should be on my card.
Boss bitch in charge.
Yeah.
BBIC. That's it.
Yeah.
So,
I like that.
Anyway, we've been chatting about all kinds of things, and actually, Martha brought this up, and I was grateful because I'm thinking, what, we can talk hockey? But this is Monday morning, and if you spent any time over the weekend, and if you're a Maple Leaf fan, you no doubt spent your entire weekend weeping that the Leafs did not get the #1 draft choice.
No.
Which
And Edmonton did.
Yeah,
Of all places.
Well, first of all, I'd like to say the Leafs getting first round draft choices, Connor McDavid. It would have been the same as a woman who only wears leggings and Crocs getting a Louis Vuitton purse.
Right.
They've got nothing to go along with this very nice
Right.
ensemble.
Yes, I see what you're saying. It would be like a diamond on top of a
pile of shit, basically. That's exactly what it would be.
Okay.
So and until the Leafs can find somebody stupid enough to take some of these big contracts off their hands, and they're in a rebuild. So they would have been having this if they started rebuilding 4 years ago. They would have something actually, wish they had now.
Right.
With the #1. So Edmonton, you don't think Edmonton is the right place for the kid to go?
I don't know. I don't know where I would have wanted him to go. I was kind of hoping. I don't know. I was asked my co-host is Jim Lang, who's a big sports guy, and I said, well, where did you want him to go other than Edmonton, because he's really upset about Edmonton, and he said Toronto. I'm like, so he didn't really give. Buffalo. They could use him.
Yeah, and he'd still be close enough to Toronto, and
right.
Plus he played for Erie, and a lot of the Erie fans were from Buffalo.
Yeah.
So, and Buffalo's been trying to rebuild and trading away a lot of pieces.
Yeah.
So they got the second choice, so they're not going to be too bad.
No, and we're not actually going to be too bad in fourth. But
no, you just need to get rid of that other garbage.
It just kind of reminds me of the Gretzky. Remember Gretzky and the big in Edmonton? That's what made Edmonton. So maybe another era. I don't know.
Well, I mean, they've had 3 of the last 5 #1 draft choices, and they still can't win anything. But I'm thinking they only need one more excellent piece. So I used to follow the Oilers because I used to have lady friends out in Edmonton. Plus, there was one time when they had like 4 or 5 black players on their team. So that was
Did they really? I don't remember.
Yeah, they had. They had Anson Carter, who's I think is from Scarborough. They had a defenseman named Brown. They had George LaRocque. And they had Mike Greer, whose father I think was the general manager or something like that of the Cleveland Browns or Buffalo Bills or somebody like that. Okay. So they had, and traditionally, and I think they had Pokey Reddick as a goalie in their minor league system or something like that. So at one time, the Edmonton Oilers had like 4 blacks on their team. So I go, one more, we got an NBA franchise. But so for that reason alone, I would, the Chicago Blackhawks were always like my team.
Right.
And then when there was the Winnipeg Jets, and then when playoff time comes and everybody else is gone, I'll cheer for the Habs.
Right.
But Edmonton was, was like, okay, well, if you got to like another team, then you like these Oilers, So,
what do you think of Ottawa? I kind of like Ottawa.
I will hate Ottawa because I've always hated Ottawa as a city.
Oh, really?
I've always hated Ottawa as a town. I won't say I hate the people that run the Ottawa Comedy Club where I've performed at over the years, but over the years I felt hard done by them. So whenever it's warm in the rest of the country and it's rainy and shitty in Ottawa, I cheer.
Really? That's interesting.
I would look to see when they had bad weather.
It would make you happy?
Oh, you make me happy.
That's funny. Was it because the audiences aren't fans of yours?
No,
or?
The audience liked me. Ottawa always said, they're too conservative for you here. And then I beat the shit out of the room and then sacrifice their children for me. And I go, how could you say that?
I find Ottawa audiences to be among the best I've ever played for. And
they can be, but
yeah.
the people I worked for in Ottawa didn't really treat me with much love.
Oh.
So as a result, I used to, before, when I used to take the Greyhound there, I'd wake the driver up. I said, come on, man, let's go. 6:30, man.
Let's get out of here.
Well, we don't have to go till 8. I'll buy you. I got coupons for Big Macs, dude. So now I take the train. I can leave a little cooler at 9:30.
I went to school there. I went to college there, so
Okay.
I have affectionate memories. And I worked at Barrymore's, and
Oh yeah, Barrymore's is a great. Room.
yeah, I worked at Barrymore's, and so I have affection for the city because of my student years, and I've had good experiences at the club I work at. So.
Okay. Well, Ottawa also I think is probably one of the best places now for secondhand vinyl.
Oh.
Yeah,
Interesting.
it's. I used to think it was Calgary, but I think it's replaced Calgary for
Interesting.
second. Well, Calgary's great for CDs, but vinyl. Ottawa's a town to go. There's a couple of places I can't name because I don't have that good of a memory. But Ottawa's great for secondhand vinyl. Also, I used to buy some of my sex toys at Arthur's on Bank Street. They used to sell bum beads. They're the cheapest bum beads in the country, and I used to. And I was a single man then, so I used to buy like maybe a half a dozen. Strings at a time because
Yeah.
this is for you.
Are they?
I got you something, baby.
Are they disposable? I don't know. I don't know much about bum beads.
Well,
Or
one,
like, how do you?
one friend of mine put hers in her dishwasher, and I went. Bleh!
You just drop.
With this fork in the same load, But,
You're just dropping mad knowledge on me, man. I didn't know that.
I guess you put it with your silverware, otherwise it could fall down and
Yeah,
get
you'd
all
want it
wrinkled
in one
up.
of those little baskets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but the thing is, you can't just buy one house bum bead and then share them with multiple friends. I don't
Oh,
think that would
okay.
be polite.
Oh, so you had for special. You had like yours, and then for company.
When I if I started dating you, you got your own toe ring and your own set of bum beads. That's how you knew I was serious about you. That's how you knew you weren't one and done.
Were they like pearls? Like if they got serious, would they be pearls?
Oh no, I was never going to spend that kind of money. But sometimes I could make the mistake, and I would, I was always kind of considerate, and I'd get like a medium size, thinking like, I'm not trying to hurt anybody, and then the medium size wouldn't be big enough.
Right.
And I went, damn, you should have known by her hips she'd need an extra large. But you can't take them back and go, they don't fit. Can we get bigger ones? So just things you learn as you get older, and then as you get older, you go, wait, I'm not paying $12 for a set of string beads. I used to pay $4.95 each. That's when I used to buy them in bulk.
You should go down to New Orleans during Mardi Gras, just Moth Street.
Those will only be good for. I'm not even gonna say. But, they're too tiny. You need like Wilma Flintstone size beads if you're gonna make them count for anything.
Oh, see, I have so much to learn.
Yeah, the ones that are size of green peas really ain't gonna do much.
No?
So,
Okay.
Puka beads, forget about it, even though they sound familiar.
Puka
Okay,
beads.
let's get back to hockey here. Jesus. See, this is how Adam ate the fucking apple with Eve. See, I wasn't even going anywhere near there. We were gonna talk hockey, then somehow it just took it went in the wrong corner.
I know.
So okay, so Edmonton. Edmonton's. I guess a lot of people figure with everybody they've had in the last 3-4 years.
Mm-hmm.
The Hall and everybody else, they weren't able to put it together, so they don't deserve number one. But
It's not deserve. It's total luck.
it's total luck and being a shitty team for a long time.
Yeah. Well, it was. I think the odds, like all these guys, the odds were Buffalo, Toronto. Where that was like we were like they were.
Buffalo was 20-1.
And we were 8-1, I think.
I think Toronto was 8-1. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think more people are angry because the odds were in our favor to have a better, higher spot. But anyways, what's done is done. But poor Connor.
Well, people are saying that, but you know what? I think the Oiler fans, they love their hockey out there.
They do.
And I think that if they got to trade one of these other slugs that they've had for a first-rate goaltender.
Yeah.
And they said they need a tough defenseman. Phaneuf is not the tough defenseman anybody needs unless you're in a beer league. But I think if they can get a decent goalie, they can make a run for it. And Edmonton, the look on his face was like, Edmonton. But, but Buffalo gets just as much snow, even though it doesn't get as cold. And you'll be further away from your family.
Yeah.
But I remember going to Edmonton to perform comedy during the heydays. And no wonder why Grant Fuhr had a problem. I mean, everybody in that town parties. He won't ever have to buy a beer for himself.
No, yeah, he'll be
unless
set.
he wants to be alone. He doesn't. He'll never be alone.
Yeah.
And so as far as a town that, think about it. Remember when Gretzky cried when he got traded from the Oilers?
Yeah, to L.A.
And it wasn't because I don't want to go to Hollywood where my way-in with swimming pools and nice weather. He was
the king of Edmonton.
He loved being the king of Edmonton.
Yeah.
And, you know, and
True.
then when he went to L.A., he'd be getting his face squished across the boards, and he'd look up, and there's Sylvester Stallone in the front row. Hey, I should make a hockey movie. You know,
Yeah.
So he was just another big fish in a very big
That's
pond.
interesting. And like if Connor McDavid was down, say, somewhere in one of the less hockey-centric states, he wouldn't be anybody, really. I mean, you know, like some of the American states in the South, they don't really care. Like Florida, you know.
Like, when we used to do cruise ships, and I'd see
You did cruise
billboards.
ships?
Yeah, for 10 months I had them fooled. For 10 months I had them fooled. For my first show, though, for my first week on the cruise, I thought it was going to be my last. But, you know, then when you have a bad show on a cruise, it's gut-wrenching because there's nowhere else you can
Yeah,
go.
oh, you're going to have breakfast with them the next morning?
Well, I would eat with the staff. I would
Oh,
eat,
okay,
you
okay.
know, so I would eat where there's like people from 55 different countries and not understand anybody's language. But at least nobody from the Philippines would look at them and say, bad show? You know, so, and then when you all leave, they go off on a port.
Yeah.
There's a comedian. He wasn't very funny. He was gross. And you hear all these words and you're
Yeah.
going like, I'm going on a shark fishing trip and throw myself overboard.
Yeah, at least at a club, they leave at the end of the night.
You can sneak out the back door and
Yeah.
Elvis has left the building.
Yeah.
Good, we didn't like him.
Yeah.
You know, but on a ship.
Oh, no, I never thought of that.
On a ship, you got, and then you got, you know, and there's no friends to go see. All you got is water, and you realize all we are dust, you know, dust in the wind. But, you know, getting back to this whole hockey thing, you know, he will learn to love Edmonton.
Yeah, they'll
I mean,
embrace him.
They're going to give him a lot of money, and he just has to make sure that he doesn't hang out with bad people.
Yeah.
Because I'm not saying the people in our Edmonton are bad, but
But when
it's
you're a
party town.
wealthy young athlete, there's a lot of temptation, I think.
Yeah, and they are going to throw that temptation at him. It was so funny, like when during the Oilers' heyday, I had more hair then, and I used to have this full-length raccoon coat that I used to wear, and everywhere I went, people go, "Are you Grant Fuhr? Are you Grant Fuhr?" You know, I go, "No, I'm not." And I had snakeskin boots, so snakeskin boots, raccoon coat, afro,
That's
the big
so
mustache,
funny.
the porn, the 80s, 70s, the 80s
Yeah.
porn mustache.
Yeah.
So you're Grant Fuhr. So I was thinking, no wonder why.
Did you
Grant
ever lie and say, yes, I am?
Only once. Only once.
Yeah.
There was a bunch of us comics, and we went out to a restaurant, and the waitress said, "Coffee?" And I said, "Yeah." And I'm fucking Grant Fuhr. So,
She was hot.
well, no, because they had a defenseman named Paul Coffey. So when the woman said
Oh,
coffee,
oh.
I said, "Yeah, he's Coffee, and I'm fucking Grant Fuhr." So, no, I lied. I used to tell girls I was Smokey Robinson's cousin. But,
That's so funny.
pull out the album cover. See, we got the same green eyes and freckles. Notice. So, I think that the Oilers, they're going to get a goalie. They're probably gonna trade one of their former first rounders for it, and they'll defensemen. There's gonna be some defensemen available coming out free agency. So it's too bad Toronto didn't get him. It's a good thing.
But
That,
you're right, they might not have been able to have handled his gifts in
No.
the right way.
and he would have, and of course in this town, if he wasn't Gretzky within the first season, the fans would have jumped on him, and the Toronto press is famous for being dogs to the athletes that don't do what they're supposed to do or don't live up to their expectations.
It would have been his fault for not saving the Leafs.
That's it.
Yeah.
You know,
You're
and
probably right.
it's like, hey, you could tie Jack LaLanne up to the Titanic, but you know he can pull a train, but he can't stop the Titanic from going down. So it doesn't matter what you try and do, you know. So
I love the Jack LaLanne reference.
many people won't get that.
I do.
Only if you're over, say what, 40 maybe.
Yeah.
Because that was a show our parents watched.
Yes. Remember?
Yeah,
Oh,
him and his
God.
leotards. And
Yeah, on the beach.
And then later on, he had his fruit juices and his machines.
That's so
Yeah,
funny.
Back before there were all these exercise bikes you could ride, there was just sit-ups and
He was like shaped like a V. I mean, he was.
90.
Yeah.
He was like 90 and still pulling like
Yeah.
tanks with a rope in his mouth and some ridiculous shit like that. And you know, then people later would discredit him. Yes, but the tank was in neutral. Well, you know, it's like, no, look at this guy here.
Come on, focus, people.
So,
You know, I had a cousin that played hockey, pro hockey.
oh yeah,
He Basil McRae.
he was a tough guy.
He's my second cousin. Yeah.
Okay.
Our fathers are first cousins.
All right.
And and his brother Chris McRae also played, but he didn't have quite the career that Basil had. But yeah.
It's incredible. Well, I mean, just I got my son. He's 14, and he played his first year of rep hockey.
Oh, how was
And-
that?
Oh, he played for a very terrible team, and
But just the hours of a parent. My son is I'm so grateful he's into baseball because the hockey parenting is
it's
just
nuts. Oh yeah, 4 days out of 7 we had to deal with hockey.
and early in the morning. Like
Well, he was older, so it was like quarter to 5 practice on a Friday at some rink way the hell out in Mississauga.
Oh, yeah, and they've got you running over Hell's Half Acre.
Oh, well, this year when his coach said that this year they're going to do a tournament over Christmas vacation down in Florida.
Ooh.
And I'm going, I can't be away on New Year's Eve. That's the biggest money making of the night for a comic.
Yeah.
And then I'm going, you got to get plane tickets. You got to go double hotel rooms. You got to go this. You got to. And I'm going, shit. Who's going to have money for the team fees if you try and book this thing?
Yeah. Oh, so expensive hockey.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes, baseball is a lot more because my son played select baseball as well as house league, and he's really pushing. But the equipment is minimal. You've got to pay the fees and all that stuff. The traveling is just GTA, really. It's not. But it's summer. It's summer.
What position is he?
He likes outfield, actually.
Okay. Good throwing arm?
Good throwing arm, yeah.
You know who's got a good throwing arm? Elvira Kurt.
Does she?
When the comics used to play baseball, she came out and played with us a couple of times.
Yeah.
Man, that bitch throws like Roberto Clemente. She could throw from the outfield to third base like on one bounce.
Wow.
And me, I always had to play first base because I had no arm.
Yeah.
I could throw grounders to the shortstop.
Yeah.
But Elvira?
Wow.
Pew!
She looks athletic to me. She's kind of got that wiry athletic.
But when I seen her uncork that, I had sexual fantasies of her gunning me down at the plate.
We should get a baseball team back together. I'm so unathletic though.
The comics at Yucks, we used to play the Much Music team.
Oh no.
And
you had that. You locked down, I bet. Erica M. No.
Well, Mike McDonald made her cry. So,
oh, do tell this story.
I don't remember exactly, but Mike was being mean, as Erica said.
Yeah,
and,
Mike was being mean. I can just hear it.
Mike was being mean, whereas I had problems with my own teammates. Eric Tunney, he'd play shortstop, and the ball got hit by him. He wouldn't dive. Why would he? He was a pretty boy.
Yeah, I was saying he was.
He'd mess up his hair.
Yeah.
He's just got a manicure that day. He'd throw his glove after the ball. Meanwhile, I was Mr. Bloody.
He throws a glove after the ball.
Like a little leaguer, like a 9-year-old.
Catch the ball, glove.
Meanwhile, I was Mr. Bloody Knees, Dirty Shirt. Yeah. It's only, and the game hasn't started yet. It was from the warm-ups. I'm going, there's no hustle in that boy. And Harlan Williams, that sucker could hit.
Really?
Left-handed hitter, and man, he could just I'd say to Harlan, why don't you make the game a little bit more interesting and not put one on the roof of Jesse Kutchum for a change?
That's funny.
No, I'm going to hit this one as hard as I can, my friend. And the game was like 8 for 8, 8 home runs with Harlan, and the score was lopsided.
That's so funny. I would never have imagined he was a great baseball player.
Oh, the son of a gun could hit like you couldn't believe.
Interesting.
And then we have a couple of fights with other teams, and because the comics being the way we are, that the other teams would decide not to play with us.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So then it just became comics, and then it just became beers afterwards, and then they just started. Then they just said, let's leave out this stupid baseball thing and just go for beer.
And that's how a pro team works.
That's how it ended. I was hoping though that we'd get a chance to play the Second City guys.
Yeah.
I was hoping we could develop this whole little, and then in those days there's only one comedy club, so there was 2. Mm-hmm. You could have had a chain of them. Yeah. And then.
It's like the Toronto arts people.
Yeah.
You get the cast of King of Kensington and.
Once with my company softball team, when I used to work for a mortgage company, we played a gay lesbian team. Mm-hmm. And they beat the shit out of us.
They're serious about it.
Oh, they were for real,
Yeah.
They were like tagging up on fly balls and
You're like, what?
And and hitting the cutoff man and my most of my teammates, those guys are gay. Yeah, and they're beating us. I didn't care that they were gay. I heard that we were losing.
Yeah.
And then there was one guy. I was playing first, and he spiked me while rounding second. And I said, son of a... And he was playing without his shirt, and his nipples pierced, and I was thinking, like, man, if I could hook on one of those nipples next time he's trying to stretch that single to a double, I'll teach him. I'll show him. I may not,
I may not be the best athlete, but I have my tricks.
And it's a good thing we didn't have Elvira out that day, because then we would have fought over who got to draft her. Is she with the gay lesbian?
Are you a comic or are you a lesbian? Pick.
Yeah, and I would have been. I would have said the gay lesbians don't deserve Elvira because we definitely could have used that throwing arm of hers out in the outfield.
Do you golf?
Never. I did once. I golfed once. It was a fundraiser for wounded soldiers, and I had these 3 guys. The promoter's a real sleaze guy, and he said, "Well, we'll get you golf clubs." I said, "Cool." So he puts me with these 3 other guys. I got no golf clubs or anything, and he goes, "You can use one of theirs." And so these guys hated me.
Right.
Because, can I borrow your club? So
Yeah.
here's a guy that never golfed before, and I totally ruined these old veterans' day.
Oh, no.
Yeah, they belong to some legion, and I totally ruined their fucking day.
Oh, you
know,
should try
so-
it again because I took it up a few years ago. I'm not very good at it, but I love it, and it makes me laugh. I laugh so hard. And there's a lot of comics who golf, so I keep
That's
thinking
it.
we should get a golfing
They're
thing
golfing and they're polka and polka. They're polka. They're
going.
polka.
Oh, that polka crew.
Those Western comics, you get a few beers at them, and they break out the accordion, and it's
Yes.
polka, like you don't believe. Not a lot of people know that. Daryl Mack, he can get down on all fours and do that Cossack thing. Anyway, we're just about out of time here. So if your team didn't get your number 1 or number 2 draft choice, you can feel good in the fact that you're not the New York Rangers or the Montreal Canadiens or the Chicago Blackhawks, and that you guys are in the playoffs and you don't need number 1. Kenny Robinson, Martha O'Neill, this is Breaking Down the News with Kenny. Check us out again.